The story of how I met Nags, aka Joey Bagels, is a really weird one. So I have to go back kind of to the earliest part of my VR chat experience to explain this. I was one of the only active VR chat content creators at one point. When I started, there was only two other active content creators, and that was Nags and VR chat moments. I watched VR chat moments. At the time, I didn't really know who Nags was. I had never heard of him up until a point. But it's funny because our channels and our VR chat content ended up being almost the same exact thing. We were both really sensitive to VR. We were both really scared by a lolly that would chase us around and fuck with us, basically. It was this that would actually lead to us becoming friends and talking a lot and a bunch of other like fun and good stuff. It was also what led to the way I first ever heard of Nags, and that was in my earliest videos when Richie started appearing. I started getting comments from people that were calling me a rip-off Nags because apparently he started getting scared in VR chat before me. It was about like a week or two earlier, and I was also a New Yorker, albeit my accent's not as strong because I'm not from fucking Brooklyn. But just by that basically meant that according to these people, I was a rip-off Nags, that I was a fake Nags, or that I was a budget or cheap Nag or poor man's Nags, something like that. I started getting a lot of comments like that without even knowing who he was. I didn't even realize Nags was a person when these people started commenting. I heard Nags, I was like, all right, is this some new meme that I missed out on or something? Well, that being said, the week that I started getting these comments, it was also the week that I got to meet Nags. I looked up a few of his videos to see why people were calling me a ripoff of him. I found that we basically do the same thing. I found it kind of funny. I just assumed, I'll probably never meet the guy, but that is kind of funny how we have this similar experience. And later that week, I did. So the way it started was Arranging Stars, who was someone that appeared in like all of his videos at the time, and someone that I actually ended up meeting at PAX East, and I'll maybe put the picture up on the screen and you can see it in all of its beauty. And if you're new here, then I bet you're gonna have trouble picking out which one of those people was me. And if you're not new here, you probably remember that picture from the PAX East vlog. But she comes up and she nicely starts trying to introduce her friend Mama Meatball, who is apparently a new VR player and had a strangely electronic voice.
This is Mama Meatball. She's
You're right.
single and ready to mingle.
Oh. Okay. We go.
We
could stop. We could go mingle behind the curtain if you want to.
And now what's important to know about the rest of this story going forward is that about 10-15 minutes before Mama Meatball and Arranging Stars arrived in the pug, I was crying. Why is that important? Well, because it wasn't like I was crying because I was sad, or it wasn't because I was crying because I was happy. No, I was crying because people were pulling things out of my skirt.
Your face
my bad.
like this.
My bad.
Like,
There we go.
What?
and
What?
your body's like leaning
Ass
forward.
is
Yeah, 'cause
What are you doing?
I just
What the?
just got
What the
Because
out on the.
That does not fit up there. No. No, that does not fit.
So
What?
I found
How
that
do you even? No,
I'm not gonna
stop!
say found.
Stop
I
it!
bought. I'm gonna
Stop it!
You tell the truth.
Stop
there.
it!
I found
This
this one,
is
and
stop
it's
it!
now become my favorite.
Stop! Stop it!
Hey,
Hi.
I wish that were me.
No, stop it! Stop pulling things out of me! Stop it! You fucking stop!
You got
Oh.
something. It's just a little something.
What the?
What the hell?
Yeah, see, like I don't know how you're fitting all this up in there. Like,
Yo, what a slut. Breathe, buddy.
breathe.
You're not leaving us yet.
What in the world did you guys
You
do?
still have some more fun to have with us.
I'm dying over here. You fell
Don't
on the
die.
floor.
So you know how you get able to like get weapons and stuff?
Yeah, some of that.
We just kept on pulling stuff out of his dress. And apparently this dude's like really sensitive to VR because he like feels it in real life. So now he's like freaking out. He's just dying.
Did I mention that we were both extremely, extremely sensitive in VR to things that happened and had strong reactions, and that is why people started watching us? Did I mention that? Yeah, so that's going to be the theme here, because very quickly at some point, people just start pulling stuff out of Mama Meatball's skirt as well. Still being freaked out by it myself, I ran over and I was like, stop pulling shit out of people's skirts. Okay, wait, that sounds wrong. Stop pulling you know what I mean. And Mama Meatball also being very just phased by what was happening. I love it. Picks the word to describe it, right? Calls it incredible.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Are you
You
single
pulled a
and
sword
ready?
out of my
Stop
skirt!
doing that to people.
Wow! How did you
Stop
do that?
it.
On something too. Where'd this come from?
Wait, put it back though. If that sword is up there, you gotta put it back. You gotta put it back in my skirt. Oh! Kind of hurts and tickles. I got a gun and a sword.
Right?
Up there
It
now.
feels weird. It feels
It
weird.
feels insane. Wow!
That they did that to me. I started crying in real life. It was horrible.
That feels incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah, no, it's just
What's going on over there?
Not a good incredible. Like an incredible as something I've never experienced before.
Because that's totally not going to get misunderstood, right? Cut ahead a little bit, and someone's in front of Mama Meatball spelling out with her fingers Nagzz, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, huh. But then Mama Meatball says ZZ sleeping, like ZZ sleeping. I'm like, wait, what? That's not what she said. And I walked up, and I said, what does she spell? And then Mama Meatball goes, she spelled ZZ, like sleeping. And then she goes, no, and then starts spelling again. And then now I'm looking, I'm like, N, and she looks at me, he's like, yes. A, I'm like, are you spelling Nags? I thought this was so weird because I had just heard of him. I had just been started calling a ripoff of him. I just like looked him up earlier in the day. And now here was someone spelling out his name, even though I'd never heard of anyone in VR chat mentioning him up until this point. It was all just really interesting to me. So I was like, you spelling Nags? I was like, why are you spelling Nags? And she points at Mama Meatball. And I'm like, Nags? And then someone's like, what, does she know Nags? You seen her in a Nags video? And then the girl's just like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. And I'm like, are you saying that is Nags? And Mama Meatball's like, no, I'm not. I mean, his videos are like pretty cool, but... And the girl just keeps pointing up in his face, like, you, like Nags, you. I'm like, that is Nags? And then I looked and I'm like, are you Nags? And Mama Meatball's like, no. I'm like, you're Nags. And Mama Meatball is like, I'm not.
Now you guys are married. Which one of you is
I don't get
pregnant
it.
now?
I don't get it. Speaking eyes.
This one.
You're
Speaking
pregnant?
head.
This one is pregnant.
I don't
Mama
get it.
Meatball, you got a meatball in the oven.
Poor Kari, man. Like,
You have a meatball in the oven.
Mama Meatball, you got a
Hey.
meatball in the oven.
Oh, hey, Springfield.
Oh my god. Is it actually a sausage? Are you sure it's a meatball?
Z.
It's a tomato.
Z.
What is this
Oh, I
thing?
like
Hey,
the
Ryan.
Club of the baby seal.
Z.
Club it,
sleeping.
it's too fat.
Oh, yeah.
No.
What does she spell?
Straight gamma.
What does she spell?
Too big, it needs to be
ZZ.
club.
ZZ.
what happened?
Just three Z's?
Overused joke.
N.
N.
There we go.
N.
N.
Oh, yeah.
Are you spelling Nags?
I tried to
A.
You ma-
Oh,
you
yeah.
can make him sad.
Why?
but I couldn't.
Is she in a video of
Okay.
Nags?
Spelling Nags.
Like,
Pretty easy
he
to find.
told
Who's
me.
next?
Are you trying to tell her to watch Nags
This is
videos?
Nags?
You fucking whore.
Pretty
Oh.
much.
After what
Is
you
this
said,
Nags?
Actually.
He feels.
This is Nags?
Are you
Worst
saying that
beef
is
of
Nags?
forever.
Man.
That is Nags?
No, he's pretty good. No, it's not.
I mean,
I don't
he's
know who that
okay.
is.
This is Nags.
What did I miss?
No, it's not.
Good question. What happened over there?
Are you sure?
Listen, you piece of crap. Why
Oh
would
my
you
God.
wow me like that?
Why?
Oh my god!
Because Mama Meatball is dead after this. There will be no more Mama Meatball. She's gone.
Another one to add to the friend list.
So goodbye. I'm coming back as someone else another time. It was good, right? Did it work good?
It was
Voice change to work good.
Oh my god!
I never recognized you. Isn't it a little obvious?
I love you guys.
And then was the beauty of the reveal. And my god, if you cannot detect the amount of fanboys in the room at that moment, it was hilarious. Like, people were getting in his face like, oh my god! Oh my god! Is it really you? Oh my god! But eventually he leaves. He comes back later as someone else, but I think I ended up cutting that out of the video because I think it didn't quite go so well and someone might have made a big deal out of it or something. Yeah, something like that happened. It didn't go very well. It was a negative thing, and I even cut it out of my own video because I didn't want to, like, I don't know, show that. But anyway, literally the following day, I ended up meeting Adame. And it's funny because after meeting Nags, I was like, oh, okay, so that was kind of funny. Let me look at his channel again. The next day, he just posted the video of calling Adame a crap cop, which apparently happened like earlier in the day, the day that I met him. I was like, oh, that's the guy from the video, the guy that everyone's calling a crap cop. I remember now. And I was just hanging out with him. I got some of my other friends there, and I forget when, but Nags shows up eventually. And surprisingly, no fanboyisms happening. It's just like, okay, there were people here, we were in the world, he shows up, and there wasn't a mass rush towards him. Like the day before, I was like, oh, okay, this is better. Well, some stuff happened, and Adame ends up trying to arrest Nags, and...
Hold on. do I need to get technical here with that Tommy gun on your back, sir?
I don't have... What are you talking about? I don't have a Tommy gun.
Oh, it's okay. It was legally obtained.
It was legally obtained. I got a permit for it.
Where's that permit at, sir?
Would you like to see the paperwork?
Yeah, where's that paperwork at?
I'm gonna shoot you.
It's in your other
Don't give him no ideas.
He left on his other jacket.
I don't see that 688. That's not the paperwork.
No,
that's wrong documentation.
That's your person.
No,
that's not my person.
That's your person.
That's
what
a
Victoria's
Secret. Not my person.
What are you taking out of my pocket?
Account.
There's the paperwork.
Information.
I just took it out of my pocket.
Oh no.
Here,
that's a little strange.
Psycho.
Yo, he took that out of my pocket.
You want me to take you in?
Just like my Japanese anime.
No, this is the paperwork. No, that's not my hands like that. This is paperwork.
Oh, you come back.
I swear.
I thought you did.
Yeah.
Something. I don't know.
No.
Pass the paperwork, you crap cop.
You can do them in like a different way,
Really? Really?
Crap cop. Like,
yeah. I quit.
Ryan ends up calling him a crap cop. Adame says he's gonna quit his job and starts walking away, and Nags feels bad, starts running after him like, no, it's okay, and I run after him too. I quickly get distracted though because I notice the pole that he gets in front of saying, I'm just going to look at this pole, eventually turns away from it, but someone else goes up to the pole, and this is great because me and Nags both uploaded a video about this on the same day, and both of our attentions on two separate places. Nags is focused on Adame, like, listen, man, you're a great cop, and, you know, you got to stay on your job because we need you in VR chat, and I'm over here like, are you molesting a pole?
I'm going over here.
He quit. He quit.
Just call him a criminal.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I quit.
You got a job to do.
No,
you got
You're
a
making him
job to
quit.
No, I'm going to look
He's
at
quitting.
I'm looking at the poll. No.
You got a job to do, man. You got to do it.
Listen, we could all agree. We could all agree. We're not gonna lie. You are a pretty crap cop. However, you're amazing, and you're the only VR cop here we need you. Honestly, you made
He's the
street
best
safe.
cop ever. Don't you forget it.
What are you doing to the pole?
I want an answer to that. If I am
where
a
that's been?
What?
crap
Right
cop,
here.
What are you doing? This is a
I'm an
pole.
amazing cop, though.
This is like a street lamp.
Counterintuitive answer.
It's my
You're an
waifu
amazing
now.
person. You're an
You
amazing
can't make a
person,
street lamp your
and you're-
waifu.
You are a crap cop, though. But
You can't
really
prove
are
that.
An amazing person.
Alright,
We need you. We need you. No, we really need you.
He's a fantastic cop.
There.
Fantastic.
Bam.
There.
Fine.
Are
No
you
longer
serious?
cop. I quit.
Really?
I quit.
Quit. No!
Why?
No, you can't! You can't win!
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
This is the problem.
It's not illegal. Wait, how old is this street lamp?
I don't know. This place is new, so probably a few days.
Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? It's an underage street lamp.
And eventually we learned the pole is underage. Don't ask me how that makes sense. And after some stuff, I run over to Adam and I'm like, hey cop, there's someone over there molesting an underage street lamp and we need you to deal with it. And he starts going after it. And then that's where me and Nags' little videos merge and Nags starts chasing after yelling, see, that's why we need you. And Adam's like, oh yeah, all right, you need me to help tell someone not to be lewd or some shit.
Too much cringe. Okay.
What we just covered? This is an underage street lamp.
It's not if they don't catch me.
Where's the cop? Cop,
Wait.
cop,
Wait a second.
cop, I need you. He's
What?
doing things to an underage street
I
lamp.
got blackmail.
That's why we need you! See, we need you as an officer.
Where'd he go? Look,
The world needs you.
We need you. You're literally the best.
you need him.
You're the
It's
hero
Aja.
this world
It's
deserves.
Aja. It's the redhead. It's the one with the Santa hat. The one with the Santa hat was doing things to the underage street lamp.
Stop this
Hold on.
smile nonsense.
You're touching
Alright, what's going on to
everything
this
except for-
lamppost?
Eventually, that little scene passes, and we're just talking, and Arid, one of the older characters in my videos, is showing Adam how he could take a little gun and make it bigger. And Adam looks at the gun and goes, I need one of those. Because Adam, he was a desktop user. He didn't have a gun animated in or anything. So he just goes, I need one of those. There's a little bit of a silence. People are about to start talking to him again. And then I just laugh and go, yeah, so you can do your job.
No, see, in my hand, there's a tiny gun.
A Tavor.
Now watch.
A dub.
That is now big.
I need one of those.
Yeah, so you can do your job.
Hey man.
Oh shit.
You know what? You know what?
That's why you're a crap cop.
Oh my god. What did you do? I feel so bad.
Fucking everyone was just bursting out laughing at this. And I remember calling him a crap cop as he fucking ran away, which I feel bad for because the crap cop meme, it got way too out of hand. And by the time the BRPD was formed and all that, it was so obnoxious and annoying because you could never go somewhere, say you were VRPD and not have a Nags fan just run up to you and start yelling, crap cop, hey guys, look, I called him a crap cop, I'm so funny and original. This doesn't happen to them all day, every day that they're in VR chat. You know, we actually started blocking people in the BRPD because of that. Every single person that said crap cop, at one point we had to block just all of them. We had a little bit of a contest. And then once again, the situation just randomly flips around and we're accusing Nags of killing Mama Meatball, and then Ryan gets involved, and I'm just going to show you this one.
Something will happen that'll give him leverage over you again, I'm sure.
Is Mama Meatball considered leverage?
It's a tiny journalist.
Mama Meatball is
It's the best tiny
a
journalist.
beautiful, independent woman. She stays out of this. Don't even bring her name into this. Great, strong, independent woman. And I'd give my left nut up.
So you killed Mama Meatball is what you're saying.
I didn't touch Mama Meatball, no.
Oh, you killed her.
I didn't kill
Meatball
her.
died. I'm
killed
confused.
her.
You ain't pinning nothing on me. Who's next?
Who's next? Who's next on your hit list?
Next?
gonna kill one
Yeah, who are you killing next?
I'm not killing anybody.
Are you killing Ryan? You tried
He's
sacrificing
killing
him
Ryan
earlier.
next.
No, Ryan.
Killing
Sacrifice. What are you
Ryan?
backing up for, Ryan? What are you backing up for?
He knows.
Bro, you come
He
over
knows
here-
you're gonna
you come
kill
over
him.
here
He
and
knows.
Tell everybody that I didn't try to kill you. Ryan,
Oh,
you
now
come over
he's,
here and tell
he
everybody
guys,
that I
he's
tried to kill you.
threatening Ryan. He's threatening Ryan. Oh, he pulled out the gun. All of what would become Lolly Squad ended up jumping forward to protect Ryan as Nags is chasing him, screaming, and Ryan's like, you tried to make me tomato soup.
I see you. Where is he? All right, I'm gonna put the gun down. Now, now that I got you here, tell everybody that I didn't try to kill you. Tell them that.
Back off Ryan. You're not gonna sacrifice him.
Why are you calling Ryan? Why are you calling Ryan?
Tell them
You
that I
tried
didn't
to
try
kill
to kill
him.
you.
Ryan looks pretty innocent, so.
Tried to make me tomato soup.
He's laughing about it.
You tried to make him into tomato soup.
Arrested right now.
Alright.
I can't even concentrate.
Alright,
You're arrested.
come
Get
here.
ready.
Arranging Stars tried to be Nags' lawyer and to spur on the scene because me and Nags were probably thinking the same thing at the time. It's like, whoa, this is really good footage. I went ahead and I claimed to have evidence of Nags shooting Ryan in like video format, which I didn't. I just thought this would be kind of fucking hilarious. And Adam goes, "Oh, that's pretty damning evidence. You know, we're gonna have to arrest you."
There's multiple witnesses to the crime that was
No.
I
It doesn't
witnessed
matter.
the
Witnesses can
sacrifice of-
collude with each other. Is there any video evidence?
It's okay. I have the evidence.
You
can
I have the recording of him shooting him.
Oh,
Wow.
oh. Now,
Oh, that's some evidence.
Joe, we gotta say for
I
yourself,
mean,
Joe.
you can have it, but you know, as his lawyer, I'm gonna have to see it.
yeah,
The
but you realize we
the
gotta
cop
take
here
it
is
down.
gonna have to see it.
We're going to have to take him down to the station, hold him, because I mean he's going to
Yeah.
try and run.
All right,
again.
go ahead.
Good
Go ahead.
cop.
Here you go. Arrest me.
I mean, you can't
Dude, what'd you
technically
say?
hold him
What'd
without
you
any
call him?
evidence.
A good cop.
Oh, he's gonna
You know
shoot
what? Go
him.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Arrest me. Go ahead. Arrest
You're a
me.
good
Take
cop.
me in.
Adam tried backing everybody away from this little scene after he had put Nags in like handcuffs or whatever, and he starts trying to like get a bribe out of Joey, who's like, "You're a corrupt cop." Eventually, he does get Joey to say, "I'll give you $10,000," and then he goes, "Bribing an officer of the law. Yeah, we're gonna have to bring you in for that." And then they start yelling, "No, that was entrapment. That was entrapment." And everyone else is just like, "No, man, he got you. You know, you tried to bribe him, and that's that. You're going to jail." And
Do whatever you want. I'm just gonna walk.
Alright. Well,
Give me the
how
key.
much?
Unlock me.
No.
Give me 10 grand.
We talking
10
price
grand.
first.
I'll give you 10 grand. 10 G's.
10 grand. Alright, you're going to jail for trying to
Are
bribe
you
an
kidding
officer of
me?
law.
Are you joking
Alright,
me?
open up
No,
that portal.
no,
Open up
no.
that portal.
That
We're
was
going
entrapment.
in.
Tell me that was entrapment. That was entrapment. That was
That was
entrapment.
entrapment,
That was
officer.
entrapment. That
No,
was entrapment. You ain't getting away with that.
No,
That was
no.
Not
entrapment.
entrapment, folks.
That was
He was
entrapment.
soliciting a police officer. I heard it.
I
Joey.
didn't bring it up first.
Yeah,
That was
it's okay.
entrapment.
Yep, Joey, you're going
As
you're
the
going to
press, I'm
court, man.
recording everything.
Get back here.
Cab.
Oh, he's ready.
Where's the courtroom?
Wait, where you go?
Yes.
Oh,
Get back.
jeez.
Everybody,
Hey,
yes.
put the gun down. Put the gun
No.
down, sir.
Get back.
eventually, Nags goes crazy, starts running away with a gun. He ends up trying to kidnap Nomic, who, oh god, became quite the meme in other videos of mine in the future.
Drop the weapon, Joey.
Drop the weapon, Joey.
Alright?
Well,
Everyone
What's up,
step
girl?
back. I don't want you all getting shot.
what's up, girl? All right, she gets it. Back up. Well, she gets it. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Oh,
Well, she's getting it.
the Spanish
Everyone
Inquisition.
step back. He has,
Joey,
he
you have
Get
no
back.
bullet.
Everyone
I
step
have one
back.
bullet. Get back.
You already used it on Brian.
Do you know, you probably don't know this because you probably don't watch the streams, but in one of my streams, Nomic was there and I was drunk and people in chat start trying to donate money to make me marry Nomic. Like, how much money to marry Rez to Nomic? And, oh, how much money for you guys to kiss, for you guys to hug, for a handshake, and all this weird shit. And Nomic said something like, oh, $200 and I'll marry Rez. And one person offered up 100 if another person offers up 100. But to this date, nobody else has offered up the other 100 to make it happen. And Nomic's still just waiting. Anyway, I'll just show you the rest of this scene.
Don't kill me.
Handshake.
You're going to
Oh my
get
god.
the
Fine. Once,
kill.
really quick. Hold on. All right, let's do that.
Get him now.
Give me, no!
No, the handshake.
He's got
No,
his
get
gun. He's got his gun. He's got his gun. He's got his gun.
Where you go? Where you go?
What?
I lagged. way
He's
too
there.
hard.
Fucking disarmed.
Yes!
He got him disarmed. He got him.
Yes!
Literally.
Victory
Literally,
for the
he's disarmed.
cop.
He run away from his mic
I knew that was
screaming.
gonna be a man first. I had to take the headset off.
I had to. I seen the chance, man. I seen the chance. I took it.
Good cop. Good
Nicely
cop.
done.
Good cop. Good cop.
Alright,
Good cop. Good cop.
Shadow,
Good cop.
Shadow.
Good cop. Good cop. Good cop.
I have my headset. I have my headset off. I'm gonna be AFK for a minute. Everybody, though, that was absolutely hilarious. That was really good.
Good cop. Good cop.
That was awesome.
Good cop. Good cop.
Once it's all done, me and Nags are just having a chat. Someone just told him, like, oh, yeah, you see this guy right here, RESOULA? Whoa, I just jumped. Someone's pointing at me saying, like, hey, you know, you see him? He's literally... Hey, no, you see him? He's literally just like you. He has all these reactions. People get in his face and do weird stuff. And then we get on the topic of all the... someone is Steam messaging me on and off right now, and I can't even focus. I want to bet it's Fuyumi. Is it Fuyumi? Yeah, that's Fuyumi. Say hi, Fuyumi. But yeah, me and Nags learned that we have all that in common, that we make the same videos, and then the crowd just splits half and half to go torment the both of us, each just picking their poison, or in this case, their victim.
I really do hate when anything's close to my face in VR. It really freaks me out. Like
See, he feels it too, Aaron.
So when everybody was running,
Joey, this guy's the same way as you. This guy's the same way as you. He's like really
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you know what they did to you with the dress? When they were pulling things out of the dress?
Yeah.
They did that to me before you got there. Like, the whole room did.
What's this?
Until I fell on the floor crying. You stop it.
I was there for that. He was
I
on
met
the
another
floor
one of me,
crying
finally! But I hate things near my face.
You
Like,
got something behind your head here,
It gets me
right?
very uneasy. Like that. Like, why? I shouldn't even say anything. Like, why are you touching
With an axe! Stop it!
Once again,
No.
VR, I'm doing it.
Stop!
I was
that way the
first day of VR.
No.
I want to give you a present.
No. And we started talking in, like, Discord way back when, and meeting up and hanging out more often, and that's how I met Nags, and how I met Adame. That's not how I joined the VRPD. You know, that's another one I could do, is how I joined the VRPD. That would be an interesting one. Let me know if you want to see that, or if you want another how did I meet this person kind of thing coming up, because right now I'm out of ideas, but I'm sure I'll get more, and I will see you on that episode. So thank you very much for watching, and bye-bye.